just joining us, you're watching the beginning of a match with Mike Davis and Greg Harada. Between Mike Davis and Greg Harada. That's Mike Davis shooting now.
And this is the first game. You didn't miss much, just the opening break. I believe it's first game of the set.
Just the opening break. And a good layout for him.
So as far as players that are left, looks like we have Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield getting ready to. That'll be playing for the hot seat. We've got Greg Harada, Mike Davis playing on this table here, and then it looks like we've got Al Lawrence and John Lee currently in a match. The winner of that will play Attila.
And I think it's a 4-4 between Al and John.
Yeah, it looks like it's a tied-up match, and that's a great set actually for John Lee, because I think Al's a little bit of a stronger player than John.
Yeah, but it's good for
so
Al too, because
John's playing well.
It's good for Al too because Al was just down and just caught up.
Yeah.
And he was rolling his eyeballs, like thinking, "Gosh, I'm going to lose this set." You know what I mean? So
I vaguely remember Al's eye roll. I think I seen it firsthand about a week ago, if I remember correctly, Daniel.
Oh, you mean when we played him?
I think, Daniel and I actually played a match against Al Lawrence and a local player here, Matt Sonata.
Mike got on the short side of the 6 to make this 6 because the 6 does not pass the 7 to the other corner. So he played the short side of the 6 to get to this 7 ball and to make the 6. What a great shot.
Looks like a little bit of a tough leave. If he can cut that 7, he might come back to the side rail to see that 8. Definitely didn't make it easy. Oh, great shot. Goes 2 rails, comes back, sees that 8 almost straight in.
Yeah, the speed was so important on that.
And left himself nice on the 9 for the out. So it looks like Mike Davis takes a first game in that set against Greg Harada. For those of you coming back online, I will say we have had a little bit of power issues because of the location where we're at here at Pool Sharks. They've had some intermittent power. So glad you could join us back on the stream. Myself, Jeff Gray, and Daniel Busch, live from POVPOOL.
That's right. Hey, you got a little knack for this thing.
That's how we roll here in That's how we roll in Las Vegas.
That's right. I want to thank you for supporting, man, just by sitting here and supporting. And by the way, talking about support, I just want to also thank Happy's Pizza for making their deal happen. If you come into Happy's, if you call Happy's Pizza while you're at Pool Sharks, they'll give you 2 medium pizzas, 2 toppings for $10. Happy's Pizza.
And they will deliver right to your table. Tell them you're at Pool Sharks, they'll come on in. What better service is that?
Tell you what, why don't you call in a pizza for me? I'm hungry.
You want that? I'll order a pizza if you want.
I've got an Italian sub coming, actually.
Oh, John Lee just kind of dogs a 9-ball, leaves it sitting dead in the pocket for Al Lawrence. Looks like Al's going to go up 5-4 in this set. Put Al on the hill here.
Al's going to get to the hill, and
Al's on the hill, John Lee breaking.
A lot of these matches seem to be going back and forth.
Yeah.
Not all.
Yeah, there haven't been a whole lot of
the alternate break.
Yeah.
And also the way the balls are breaking.
Well, and I think racking the 9 on the spot is making a significant difference in how they're breaking as well. You know, you see a lot of players that racking the 1 on the spot, they'll push out 1 ball right in the side pocket off the break. So kind of changes up their breaking method a little bit. And
traveler, you have to depend on the kindness of strangers.
I don't exactly know what that means right now, but Al just said that when you travel on the road, you have to live on the kindness of strangers, and I guess that's what he's referring to John Lee, maybe missing a shot for him. And so Al Lawrence will be on the hill before John is. So
Well,
John's got work to do.
and I'll tell you, if you've ever met Al Lawrence and spoke with him, you will not be a stranger to Al for long. Extremely friendly person, great pool player, does a lot for the sport.
And by the way, DJ Celtis in the chat room is asking a question now. Everybody, I just want you to know DJ Celtis is in England right now, and he wants to know, why do some players on here wear those gloves, those black gloves? They're not always black.
No, actually, my wife plays with a purple glove, so a little bit
He
different.
says he's never
but
used them.
yeah.
And is it to help the cue action? Well, yeah, it is. It is to basically create a barrier between the oil and your skin.
Yeah, I think it's to give a more consistent type feel
Yeah.
on the cue.
And also it adds to the feel.
You don't have that friction and the chalk getting on the shaft of the cue interference. It gives you a little bit of it keeps your shaft a little bit cleaner, which a clean shaft is always good.
You don't necessarily feel all the nicks in your
True.
Like
True.
you have a lot of nicks in your shaft.
Just more of a consistent feel to the stroke of the cue.
Even if you don't have nicks, you might be in the middle of a match, and then you drop your cue and you get a nick.
True.
You know what I mean? I don't use one though.
I bought a glove. I used it for a little while, and it was a little bit difficult for me to get used to. I like the natural feel of the cue, so I did go back to that and actually started shooting a little bit better. But there are a lot of players that wear them. I believe Shane even wears a glove.
Sure, Shane wears a glove.
Shane wears a glove consistently.
So does Alex Pagalayan. A lot of players wear the glove. John Schmidt uses the glove.
Well, DJ, it's good to hear in the chat room that you keep your shaft clean. Everybody likes a clean shaft.
Including the ladies.
That's true.
Hey. I'm kidding.
All right, so John Lee takes that last rack against Al Lawrence. They are hill.
All right. Look at this rack, though. This rack's a mess. There's just so many.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some good defensive play out of this rack.
Yeah.
That 8-9's tied up, 2-4's tied up a little bit. I'm assuming he's going to get that 2-ball out of there.
Well, Sean Summerall, who's actually from Wales, says that you're not allowed to wear them in snooker. When you play snooker, you can't wear them in snooker. Are you saying you can't wear them, or you're not allowed to wear them? There, that's my question. It's in the chat room.
Answer a question with a question. There you go.
Al Lawrence gets
Wow,
two
Al making
balls
3 on the break. Looks like he's got.
Harada playing what looked to be a safety, but look at what he's doing. He's going to attempt the run out.
Wow, that's a gutsy shot with where that 8-ball's positioned. He might be using that 5 to break out that 8-9. We'll see what happens here. I'm assuming he's probably going to go play that easy, play the 4 back in the same pocket.
Yeah, he easily stunts back. The 8-ball is his problem. He's going to have to. He needs to get on the right side of the 5 so that he can play like a straight pool breakout shot.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might go 2 rails here, bring that cue ball back up to the center of the table.
Yeah, like
pocket that
somewhere
5 in
near
the same
6,
pocket,
near
maybe
the
break
6.
out.
Bring the cue ball near the 6, hopefully.
Break out, use that 5-ball to break up that 8-9.
Yeah.
Still have a reasonable shot on that 7 with the natural eye, or I'm sorry,
The 6.
On the 6, have a natural eye on the 7.
Whatever breakout. Well, he's got to get the right shape first. So let's see what happens here. He is going to get the right shape, I think. He gets. Maybe he's short. He might be on the wrong
Probably
side.
came up a little bit shorter than he wanted to on that shot.
So now he's looking for alternatives for the 8-ball.
Wasn't quite able to get a breakout, so it'll be interesting to see what he does after he pockets his 6. what he's going to do with that 8 ball.
Greg Harada is a very strong shooter. I've played him several times in the Hard Time Sunday tournaments, and there was a streak there where I would get very close to beating him, and I would lose. But then finally, one time I did beat him, so I was very happy about that. But he's a tough opponent, really tough opponent. I mean, I even played him in one pocket, and it was tough.
And it looks like John Lee wins that match against Al Lawrence, defeating Al Lawrence, putting him out at 6-5.
Wow.
So Al finishes in that 7-8 position.
And now we have a...
You know what? I take that. I actually take that back.
John Lee
I had that
defeated.
wrong.
Yeah,
John Lee was defeated by Al Lawrence, 6-5.
And Al looks very relieved. But he kind of was... No, he doesn't look so relieved. He looked like he was the one that lost.
Yeah. I'd heard him
Greg
call
Harada.
John Lee, so I figured.
Greg ran out.
Oh, wow. So we're at... can't see the score quite there. Is that a 1-1 now on the match reviewing?
I believe so, yeah. And remember, I'm just going to remind the audience right now that Greg Harada actually beat Mike Davis
Yes, he did.
in the second round. I think the score was 6-4.
And I'll tell you, there's no shame in losing to Chris Stansfield. The way he's been playing this tournament, extremely, extremely strong. You know, he's in the next match against Walter Glass. Hopefully we'll be able to pull that up on the stream table.
I think we are going to get that up. Sweaty hands is another reason why people wear them.
Well, and it keeps, you know, typically players back in the day, before the glove came out, they would use the white talcum powder to put on their hand. It gets all over the table.
Sean says that you're not allowed to wear them.
Oh, okay.
Snooker.
And for
He says
snooker.
you're not allowed to wear the glove in snooker.
Right. So it is kind of nice for those players that are used to using talcum powder on their hands to get a slicker stroke. It no longer gets the powder all over the table and kind of deteriorates the felt much quicker.
Right. In fact, if there's any glove companies out there that want to sponsor me, then
True. You can contact Daniel at povpool@gmail.com.
get your glove out there in the market.
Always looking for sponsorships
The
for
Michael Jackson special
Yeah.
glove there.
Always looking for sponsorships for POV Pool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Traveling
And
you know,
events.
traveling
Whichever
to
you
these
wanna do.
events.
Michael Jackson was a pool player. Hey,
Well, Michael Jackson was many things.
hey,
Pool. Not sure if he played pool, but he was a Las Vegas local here for a while.
Yeah. He was a genius, man, in the music business, man. He really was. Look at this, going for the 9.
Wow, that was a gutsy shot by Greg. Left at 1-9, pretty much just wired in the pocket. Should give Mike Davis an easy out here.
Attila is now playing Al Lawrence. Attila just got defeated by Walter Glass.
Yes, he did.
Hill, right?
Yep. That's correct. Keep in mind here, they did have a players meeting / Calcutta on Thursday night. So there's also a little bit of a side pot for these players that are now finishing. So not only are they in
I
the
think it's
tournament
pretty
money,
small.
but
I think it's pretty small.
yeah, unfortunately I didn't come in on Thursday night, so I was unable to see what that brought in. But I should take Mike Davis up 2-1.
Action Donkey says he likes the powder, but some people go a little overboard.
Well, and that's kind of what I said earlier. The powder goes all over the table. I just recently started using the Predator chalk.
Filipinos, they like to use the powder.
Yeah, I just started recently using the Predator chalk, which I also noticed. I played League the other night, Thursday night, on a camel colored felt, and it leaves the chalk. It's sticky, but it leaves it all over the felt. And once you play on a different colored felt, it's great for remaining on the tip, but it does tend to make a mess. So I do understand why a lot of the establishments now don't really carry the talcum on the pole any longer. But
I used to go to a pool hall that had rosin bags at every table, like bag of rosin.
Yeah, and they actually still sell those.
I think that's better for the cloth. I'm not sure. I don't have the real answer to that, but. So Greg played a really good out in the last rack, and he's at the table again. He's looking at this one ball, and he's probably going to play safe. Yeah, he's playing a safety, like a two-way shot. And
that actually worked out really well.
Well,
he might be able to get over the top of that, but it's going to be. He can jump that, but it's going to be a little bit difficult because that 3 is close to the 8. So typically, if he were to jump that, he comes off the side rail. I think he's going to have a strange angle on that 3 ball.
Yeah, shape on the 3 is going to be tough if he makes this one. He's putting a lot of draw on this.
Well, as I mentioned, great shot, but he comes right off that side rail. Makes it a little bit difficult on the 3. You know, he might actually go 2 rails here, play that 3 ball, back up alongside the 9 to the top rail, try and leave that cue behind the 8. I don't think he's going to have a clean shot on making that 3 ball in the bottom right pocket. I've never seen Mike Davis play before. Actually, showing up today. What a great shot this guy is.
Yeah, he is really good. It's the first time I've met him too.
He was talking earlier on his last match about some of the action here in Las Vegas. How appreciative he was of, Pool Sharks being open 24 hours a day. It doesn't sound like where he's from. He has that type of ability to play those hours. So. As a reminder, Pool Sharks is open 24 hours. Great place to play. They've got, just looking across the arena here, they've got probably about 20 tables.
We got action here, too. If you're a pool player and you want to come in for action.
Yeah, you can get any type of action that you're looking for. I'm sure there's players here willing to match up with you.
Greg playing this, his answer, and Greg plays a great jump shot. We're getting a treat, guys. Jimmy Mattia would be furious.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's. For those of you that joined us for the Andy Mercer tournament, you may have gotten an earful of Jimmy Mattia's take on jump cues. We'll just say he's not a real big fan, but Jimmy's a great guy as well. Looks like Greg got good shape on that 8 ball. Should be able to slow roll it up for the 9 right in the side. And Greg takes that rack. Looks like it's a 2-2 race. And I'll bring up to Daniel. Looks like it might be a good time for possibly a trivia question. Daniel can bring up for a Kamui voucher. Let's see what he's got here.
Oh, that's right. I owe you a Kamui voucher.
We got you owe me about 5, but I'm donating them, so nah, I'm just teasing. But we'll see. Maybe Daniel's got a trivia question in the works here for the people on the stream. So we're at 2-2 on the match we're currently watching.
Let's see here. I've got one for you.
I will say I've been watching streams for years. I have yet to receive any type of like bonus questions or interaction. So Daniel doing his best here, giving out some Kamui vouchers. You know, not easy questions, but I'm sure Daniel's going to come up with something great here. Just watching the steam coming from his ears, coming up with a good question, making you work for it. What's up, Joe?
Very much.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man?
Who's on the
You
hot
didn't
seat?
play this.
I'm in California.
Oh, California?
You playing tonight, the beat tournament?
I'm playing.
Hot seat match is Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield.
Yeah, they're getting ready to kind of work down here.
Scratch on the
So Walter and
9
Chris
ball.
are playing for the hot seat.
You guys missed. I just missed. Well, I just barely caught it. That beautiful combination on the 3-9, and he scratched in the corner. Very upset about it. Greg's gonna take the ball in hand here. You missed a great combo.
Did I?
Mike
Oh, I
Davis made a great
apologize.
combo and then scratched.
Actually, I'm going to step away for just a second here, Daniel. I got to
Thank you.
run out for a minute. I'll be right
All
back.
right. Jeff Gray, everybody. Al Lawrence keeping busy over here. I think it's going to be 1-1 if he can run the rest of this rack, which looks pretty easy. Al Lawrence shooting right now at the 7 ball to the corner and to the 8 and 9. Back to Greg Harada, who is really giving Mike Davis a run for his money right now. So yeah, please stay tuned, guys. I am going to give away a Kamui tip voucher. And guess what? From now on, your Kamui tip voucher is good for all Kamui tips, including the new Clear. Ever heard of that? Look up Kamui Clear, folks. Greg is going to take the lead. It's 3-2 now. And it's going to be Greg's break as well, which gives him a chance to, drive ahead, drive further ahead to 4-2 possibly, if he can break and run. But remember, the way this table is racking, you have to rack the 9-ball on the head spot. It's making the break somewhat difficult. Greg's got some kind of fabric or tape on his fingers. They look like finger cuts. And the 9-ball goes down in the side on the break. It's now 4-2.
Just walked up as he made that. What a great shot.
And I gotta tell you, we've seen about at least a half a dozen of these 9-ball breaks in this tournament because we're playing on a bar box and these guys break real well.
Okay, we're coming like light.
You're on two. Al Lawrence ahead of Attila Sorda, 2-0. And Mike Davis breaking this 6th rack, making 2 balls.
You know, once again, a big shout out to Pool Sharks for hosting this tournament.
Oh yes, definitely. Joe Canella and John Kuchar,
yeah,
and also big thanks to Katie Moore. She's been great.
Absolutely.
You know, Katie Moore, like she's worked with me to
get everything up and running, and facilitate all the.
Come in here and test with at Joe and John's consent, and then John and Joe have been great while they've been here. Jim's been a great tournament director, keeping things kind of in order, making sure players are being courteous. And everybody, all the players too. Got to thank the players,
Absolutely.
man. They've been showing up.
Absolutely, and I know there was they opened it up to, was it 32 players?
Opened it up to 32.
You know, and I think there was, I called in on Thursday. I called in on Thursday, and they actually had a waiting list of players waiting to try and get in.
Get
so
48 for a bigger one.
Yeah.
And we have 56 people on line right now watching. It's kind of a mellow day. You know, the Southern Billiard Classic.
Well, they are streaming a few events.
Yeah, there's that going on. And I'll have to look at the AZ Billiard Forum to see what else is happening, but I haven't really been keeping track. I always assume something else is going on.
So, while Daniel's pulling that up, local shout-out, couple players, Gina Gray and Cassie Valerio. Been working with Cassie for a little while. Great player, up and coming. Hoping to get her on the table a little bit more. Gina Gray, local league player here. And in walks Ryan DeBerg and Melinda Wang. Melinda's a staple out at Hard Times Billiards. I'm sure many of you know who Melinda is.
And Melinda Wang and Ryan DeBerg just show up. I guess they're going to go. How have you guys been?
So maybe we could talk. I was looking a little bit of action with Ryan. Maybe we can get Daniel to stream that a little bit later. We'll see how he's feeling.
Which one?
Myself and Ryan. Mr. Run Out Ryan DeBerg. We can do that. I'd be happy to play Ryan here. As long as he gives me the 5 out, it's all good.
The Orange Crush. Ryan had on an Orange Crush t-shirt the other day. Want to say hello? Say hi to your mom and Pop. Say hi to Yoda and Chaba.
I'm just trying to keep my voice level down in here. I don't want to distract anybody.
Yeah, we don't want to. Say that again.
I've got a voice that carries.
That's right.
What's up, buddy? What's up, Linda?
So what is this? What's the food?
What's the food?
Yeah, you guys brought me food.
Well, I don't know. You should just probably eat that blindfolded and see how it turns out.
All right. Well, what if I'm allergic to anchovies or something?
Well, you like to live dangerously, don't you? That's why you're a pool streamer.
It is a dangerous job, folks.
Almost 300,000. It's a great day. Almost 300,000 people in the audience right now. All right, guys, we're gonna get back to this.
A good shot by Greg. Pocket
Yeah,
that
guys, let
9.
everybody
Bring
know,
me
Mike Davis is playing right now against Greg Harada on your social networks. 52 people in right now. 57 people watching. 57 and growing. And Greg is definitely making a case. Yes, in fact, while this is tracking,
I believe that looks like that
we're gonna
puts.
switch to Attila.
I believe
and,
that
Al
put
Lawrence.
Greg on the hill. That win there put Greg on the hill.
Greg is on the hill. It's now 5-2. Mike Davis versus Greg Harada from the one-loss side.
Yeah.
Greg Harada beating him earlier in this tournament yesterday. So we are going to get right back to the break.
And Al Lawrence, a matchup we just clicked off of. Al Lawrence is up 3-0 against Attila.
Yep, and that was Attila you saw shooting, but now Al is back to the table already. 2 balls going down, and the 9 ball wanted to get there too. Did you see that?
You gonna play the B tournament here? Or you want to go over the dealers?
Pretty open table here. This is probably the hardest
I
shot.
don't think there's many people. It's supposed to start at 6. Another hour.
I was planning on just going to
Dealers. Matt's bartending. He'll open the table. We got to do the break thing again.
Greg playing that shot pocket speed almost. A little faster than that.
It'll suck.
And actually appears to have a very easy run out.
Like 3 each. But I'll go over there for a while if you want to go.
Yeah.
Matt's working. We got the karaoke night.
Oh, I forgot.
Looks to be pretty good for Greg.
Yeah, Greg looks extremely focused.
Yeah, he's very focused. He's playing very well. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him at the BCA Nationals in July.
Absolutely.
And possibly a few of these West Coast swing matches, tournaments that are coming up. That's right, folks. I'm going to be streaming for another month every weekend, so brace yourselves for some action in the next month or so. Greg now landing a little funny on this 7 ball. He's left himself a little tough.
I don't know. It looks like he might be able to pocket that 7, bring the cue ball cross rail, maybe get up on that 8 ball on the side. I think that's going to be the natural leave there. We'll see what he decides to do with this. Once again, immediately following this match, it looks like we're going to have Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield playing for the hot seat on the stream table. And Greg misses that 7. Wow, Mike makes a great shot on that 8 ball, leaving himself straight in on the 9. And Mike Davis takes that rack. Looks like it's a 5-3 match. Greg Harada on the hill. It's a 5-3 match. Looks like the winner of this match will actually be playing the winner of Al Lawrence and Attila Cursata, who's currently playing. They're at a 3-1 race. Al Lawrence is up.
Bottom 2.
Is this you or Daniel?
It's you. Class and Chris for the hot seat. Mike and Greg right here. Thank you. Alan and Attila right there. Again, 6 players left in the tournament. We've got the table that we're watching, which is Mike Davis, Greg Harada. We've got Al Lawrence and Attila Cursata on an adjoining table. And we've got Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield waiting to come up on the streaming table for the hot seat. Mike with a great shot on that 4 ball. Should be able to draw this back a little bit, get some, get an angle on that 6. And left himself pretty well. Be able to stop that, come off the side rail, looking at that 8 ball. And he should be, we should be looking at Mike getting out here. Bring that cue ball slightly off the rail, get a little bit of an angle on that 8 ball, come back down table. Whoa, and he went a different way than I had thought. Should still be reasonably safe on that 9. Okay, so we got Mike Davis taking that down. So we are at 5. Looks like, is that 5-3 or 5-4, Daniel? Is that 5-3 or 5-4? 5-4? 5-4. So it looks like Greg Harada still on the hill, 5-4 against Mike Davis. Al Lawrence wins his last game, going up 4-1 against Attila. Greg Harada pocketing 2 balls on the break, looking at tough 2 ball being blocked by that 6-5. Greg thinking about his shot here, as it's a pretty wide open table, wants to make sure he gets reasonably safe or he can make contact with the 2. That's correct, General Ben. The 9 ball in the bottom 2 pockets does not count. If the person breaking makes the 9 ball in the bottom 2 pockets, it actually comes back up in spots. It looks like he pushes, and it's going to be given back to him. Mike Davis does not want to take that shot being given back to Greg Harada. And it looks like he's opting to jump. Oh, he's looking again. He puts his jump stick away. Goes back to his standard cue, possibly looking at kicking at it, maybe into the 4 since it's tied to the pocket.
I don't know, but I kind of like the kick. Try to kick and make the 4.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more room for error with that kick shot. He can come off that bottom rail, he can contact the 4 full, or he can come off that bottom rail and still have a reasonable shot.
He's looking at it right now, though.
And he does pocket that 4 a little bit strong.
That was a strong
Left himself a little bit awkward on the 2. I think he was trying to set that 2 ball closer to the pocket.
He really tried to bury that cue ball under the 3. But I think it was an effective enough safety to engage Mike. Wait a minute. Actually, can he see this ball? He might be able to see this.
I don't know if he can get a full look at it. He may come off that bottom rail. If you can see it, it's going to be a really slight hit. Oh, and he was able to make contact. Got a good hit there. Wow, great shot by Mike Davis.
Oh man, Greg's got to be really disappointed with that. It's going to be hill now.
Yeah, I thought he left him. Mike's got a shot at that 3-5. Leave that 3 sitting close to the pocket. You know, Mike's got a really good shot at getting out here. And great shot. Pocket that 3. Bring the cue ball down to the center of the table. Slight draw on that 6 ball. Pocket the 8 in the top left corner and 9 back in the side. And Mike should be out here the way he's shooting.
match here or what, man?
Yeah, both extremely strong players, and it looks like we're going hill, folks.
From a deficit of 5-2, Mike Davis in an alternate break format has closed the gap, is now 5-5.
And it looks like Mike's going to be breaking, which isn't a good thing for Greg, but let's see how this works out here.
Al Lawrence up 4-1 against Attila Sorda.
Yeah, my card on the bar. If you want to get me one.
Attila,
Short shot top, just don't throw it.
as I've heard it said.
It's at least
It's hooked on the 3 ball. He can't see the 3, so there's a safety battle ensuing there. Back now to Mike Davis, who breaks this rack after coming back from 5 games to 2. It's now 5-5. One ball going down. And, you know,
One.
it looks like a shot on the 2.
Spread him open. Looks like he's got a shot on that 2. Not sure what he's going to quite do with that 3. If he's going to slow roll a little bit, try and get just past that 4 ball, get an angle on the 3. His cue ball's close to the rail, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to draw it back far enough from there, or what the window is between the 5-9. Ooh, I'm not sure that's quite what he was trying to do.
Well, absolutely not, no, but he may have some insurance with that 6-8 because...
Yeah, at 8 looks off the rail a little bit, which might be a little bit of an awkward leave. Yeah. I got mine in my
TJ Celtis.
Where are you going? Gas station? What do you get? Nah. You want to grab my key out of my car when you come in? You know where my truck is, right? I'm right out front, the white Chevy Avalanche. It's in the back seat, laying on the floor. Yeah, just hit the alarm. It's on the floorboard in the back seat.
So, I get a free case with it? Is that...
Wow, Al Lawrence, great shot on a 4-ball. And comes right back on that 5. Al should be out here.
Run runner every week.
In POV Pool, broadcasting all over the world, we got DJ Celtis, I believe from the UK, Daniel said, joining us. Got to be late there. It's, what are we looking at, about 1 a.m. in the morning?
That's right, Joe. Okay, our trivia question.
I did bring that up. I apologize, Daniel, for making you think on a Sunday afternoon.
All right. Listen, this is not going to be a very difficult question to answer. So this is about speed. This is about who gets there first. And the winner will get a Kamui tip voucher. And it's going to happen right after this game.
There we go. So stick around. Make sure you stay with us.
I'm going to give away a Kamui tip voucher for the first person that answers this trivia question. It's going to be a very easy question. This is about speed.
Oh, well, it looks like that's it. Greg Harada Goes 5-9 combo into the side. Looks like he defeats Mike Davis.
Wow, that was a really good match. Mike
really
was
good.
really giving it, making a hell of a run there. Coming back from 5 games to 2 and tying it up with Greg. And even taking the break against Greg on that last rack, but losing 6 games to 5.
So Greg Harada Greg Harada should be playing the winner of the Al Davis Attila Cressata match, which is a little bit lopsided right now. It's 4-1. 4-1, and we've got Al Lawrence just missing barely on the 7 ball.
So I'm going to give away this Kamui voucher to the first person that can answer this question.
Oh, that's way too easy, Daniel.
No. Who is this player on the screen?
I wish the trivia questions I won were that easy.
Okay, who is this player on the screen? It's going to get a little bit bigger in a second.
Let's see how long it takes to answer.
Okay, it's getting a little bigger. You can name this player on the screen. I'll send you a Kamui tip voucher.
Well, Greg, Mike, and Jeff was not it. Sorry, Gina, that wasn't. That is not the answer. I think it's of the
getting
other
a little
persuasion.
bigger. Yes, you're right. Okay, I just want to thank you guys for doing this. But bet high 85 in. Oh no, I'm sorry, Morris Math. Morris Math in the chat room wins with Black Widow, Jay Lee, Jeanette Lee. You are right.
Somebody had answered Lindsay Lohan. Obviously, it's about time for a new prescription for your glasses, because that is not Lindsay Lohan.
Morris Math. Wait a minute, Mauricio in El Salvador wins a Kamui tip voucher. I'll tell you what, we will get this out to you. Just as soon as you email me your address or you call me, you have my phone number, so you can just give me a call, Mauricio, and I'll send you the Kamui tip voucher.
Where did you say Mauricio's from?
Or text me your address. Do whatever you want to do. He's from El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Or is it Colombia? I can't.
Where is the nearest Kamui installer in El Salvador? Maybe that should be the next trivia question.
I don't know. Anyway, let's keep it down for the players who don't want to get disturbed. Attila playing Al Lawrence, and I'm just...
Kamui installer in El Salvador.
Now we got Al. We got Al Lawrence talking.
That could be tough. If you're in Vegas here, I'll be happy to put it on for you.
I want to let you guys know that photograph was taken by Robert Ross, a very talented photographer, and it was taken by Robert Ross in 1994.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look like a real recent picture, but she's been a staple on the scene for years. So.
Yeah, and he's a real nice guy. I've met him several times, and that was a picture of Jeanette Lee from 1994. Gosh, I wonder how old she was.
I had seen Jeanette Lee actually entered the Ultimate 10 Ball, which is a trivia question I answered yesterday on the stream. But she ended up actually forfeiting her match, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but she was the only female. There was a field of 64 players in the Ultimate 10 Ball. She ended up forfeiting her match. She was the only forfeit, and didn't actually... No, she entered the women's. There were 64 women, 63 played. She was the only forfeit, so I'm not sure if maybe she didn't make it in time. She didn't make it in time, but whatever the case was, she did actually end up forfeiting, and I didn't see her slated in anything for the Southern Challenge. So
she has 5 kids. She has scoliosis. She has, a huge family, and let's just hope for the best for her. Whatever is.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully, it was nothing serious.
Yeah,
great. Great.
She overslept.
Yeah, maybe that's it. She was getting ready. She does show up looking like she's ready to play.
Yeah.
So, which is a good thing. It was actually a great tournament to see for those of you that did see some of the Ultimate 10 Ball, to see some of the pro players actually show up wearing something other than shorts and a tank top, great idea, and I agree wholly with it. So we're going to click back over. This is Al Lawrence. What you're watching right now is Al Lawrence playing Attila Crusato. We're going to switch back over the main table here, which is for the hot seat, which is Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield just starting off. This is the opening break. He sucks, dude. Don't lie to him. What's up, buddy?
Anyway, I just want you to know that this trivia scenario was not set up. There's no. It's not. It's not a.
No, just trying to throw something out there of something different. Something different, because I'll tell you, from being at home and watching the streams, it's kind of cool that Daniel opens that up and comes up with different ideas. Anybody can watch a stream. Very rarely do you get an interactive stream where you have commentators willing to do things for the people that are logging in and watching your stream. So kind of a neat idea.
Cool, man. Thanks for mentioning that. There we go.
You putting that in a pop-up window? Hang on, let me fix my hair.
Commentators in the picture too.
That's right. That's how we roll at POVPOOL. Picture in picture in picture.
So, by the way, I just want to let you know, Chris Stansfield. Is this match or?
Yeah, they just started. This is the first rack of the match.
Okay, so Chris, this is the hot seat match, folks. Chris Stanfield and Walter Glass.
I'm kind of rooting for Chris in this match, because I'm thinking after he wins, I might be able to get some action from him.
Hey, you never know. I'm glad he's winning this tournament because he owes me $20.
Of course, after the tournament, he's going to say, "Sorry, Daniel, I'll catch you next week. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today." Chris is actually playing really strong, extremely focused, had a great tournament, put out Donnie Branson, who's a great local player. He defeated Al Lawrence, I think it was 6-0 or 6-1, to put Al Lawrence in the loser's bracket.
Whoops. How did that happen?
And it looks like Chris takes the first game of this set and goes up 1-0, race to 6. Is there a different race for the? Do you know what the race is for the finals, Daniel? Is it going to be any different, or is it still a true double elimination?
I think it might be true
race
double.
to 6.
I'm going to double check.
Okay, Daniel just stepping away for a couple minutes here. We've actually got two matches going on. We got Al Lawrence playing Attila Crusato. Al is on the hill, 5-2 match. And the match that we're looking at now is Walter Glass, BCA Hall of Famer, against Chris Stanfield. And it looks like Chris is up 1-0. been out there for a few hours. I don't know what the extra hour is going to save it, but
It's not.
no.
That was $25.
Thanks. You know how to get? Yeah, I'll have one. You know how to get the chat up on here? From here?
I think it's just behind that window.
Chat.
Yeah, I was like.
Oh, I should have asked if you want some of this.
Nah.
I do have a Kamui voucher program too, by the way. If you guys donate to POVPOOL $30 or more, I'll send you a Kamui voucher, and you can redeem it for any tip, including the new Kamui Clear.
Yeah, good program. What is that? Where is that? How they can donate to POVPOOL, Daniel?
I'll put the link in the chat room. It's the first time all weekend I mentioned it.
You know, this is. I will add to that as a POV watcher. I'm first time commentator on POVPOOL. Known Daniel for a while. Played pool with him. Great guy. You know, he does this all gratis. So, you know, please feel free if you like the stream. Feel free to reach out, donate to Daniel.
Yeah, thanks.
Like I said, he does this on his own. He brings these streams for free, whereas everybody else charges pay-per-view. And if you know, if you like what you see,
Once in a while there's pay-per-view.
yeah. But if you like what you see, this is Daniel spending his Saturday and a Sunday bringing the stream out to everybody for free. So you know, I'd encourage you to donate at least something out to the stream.
And definitely come on out to Pool Sharks. This is Pool Sharks. It's 4 very well-maintained diamond bar box tables here.
Well, they've actually got they got 4 diamonds. They've got 3 or 4 valleys. They've got looks like they got about 20 gold crown tables, 9-footers. They run tournaments Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday nights. Plenty of action going on 24/7, and with bonus ball coming to town, there's always great spectator going on. You can always come in and see late night, you know, on the weekends or midweek. You can come in and see some of the pros play. Yeah, you never know. I've seen you know, some great matches here, just walking in at a random time and watching people play.
Yeah. Thank you.
You want one? And Al Lawrence defeating Attila Cresto. It looks like 6'2". Al playing extremely strong. Good to see him.
Al,
Good to see him playing well.
Hey, let's talk to Al real quick. Al, you just defeated one of the favorites. I'm not saying that you're not one. You're also one of the favorites. I'm just saying that you know
My awareness level is really
you
low.
went face to face with him. Let's what?
My awareness level must be really low right now because I don't know who's favored and who's not favored. I'm just trying to make a ball.
Well, right now you're looking favorite.
Well, you know, I'm liable to make a ball from anywhere, but I'm liable to miss a ball from anywhere too.
Don't let Al fool you. He's not able to make a ball. He's able to make many balls.
Yeah, he is.
He's a great
Played
shot.
each other,
Great
and
shot.
He is. How did you feel about Attila? And have you faced off with him before?
No, I watched him play for the last 3 weeks, and he's a good ball striker. I just didn't know how good he played.
Yeah, because he's new in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Like I said, I saw him 3 weeks ago over at the Putters tournament, and I'm learning how he plays right now. You know, over the past 3 weeks. So, yeah. Well, measuring the unknown is pretty difficult.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely, measuring the unknown is difficult.
Well, it's always great to watch Al play. It looks like he's going to be facing off against Greg Harada now. We're down to 2 tables. So we've got Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield playing for the hot seat right now on the stream table. and it looks like we've got Greg Harada and Al Lawrence getting ready to face off for title of the losers bracket. The winner will go forward and play the loser of Walter Glass and Chris Stansfield. So it looks like we're down to the final 4 players, aren't we?
Yeah, yes, we are. We are. Mike Davis has been eliminated, and Attila Sorda has been eliminated. We're going to go back to Chris Stansfield and Walter Glass. The score is 2-0. And I want to thank John Halter for his donation to POVPOOL. Thank you.
All right, in the chat room, Halter John, thank you for that. I'm sure Daniel appreciates it.
In fact, I think I actually owe you a second voucher now because I didn't get the last one out to you because since I moved, I had some trouble finding the voucher. So let me know if I owe you 2 vouchers, please, John.
Yeah, and I will tell you, after coming here and seeing the setup that Daniel has, what an impressive feat to put all this together, build all this equipment, his own time, his own dedication to the sport to be able to bring these live streams out. What a great thing. So I'm sure Daniel appreciates your donation there, John.
So Walter, looking at sort of like an open table here. What do you think? It's 2-0.
Well, I'll tell you, DJ, if anybody can turn up the heat, it's going to be Walter. He's had a great tournament. He can definitely make shots, and he's a very methodical player. He will not take a haphazard shot. Everything is well thought out. He might get a little short, a little long sometimes, but he is a great player, and I'm sure he's going to give Greg a run for his money. Or I'm sorry, Chris.
What did Chris just ask Walter there?
No, they touch Walter at the 5 at the stand. He asked him for
Oh, all right. Yeah, because I couldn't. He was blocking my view. I want to say hey to Abra, who's asking what's playing on the stream right now. You're watching the Pots and Pans Open Tournament here at Pool Sharks in Las Vegas, and we're watching Walter Glass in the hot seat match play against Chris Stanfield here in the heart of Las Vegas at Pool Sharks Pool Hall. 3rd and 4th place match happening right now between Greg Harada, who just lost him, who just defeated Mike Davis. Greg Harada playing Al Lawrence. Race to 6. They just started this race.
And it looks like Walter just took that down. Quick work of that rack. I would say this is probably the boy they're both playing. This is a pretty even match.
And I just watched Al Lawrence scratch, playing a very difficult bank on the 6. He got a bad kick off the 8 and scratch. So Greg Harada right now about to take ball in hand against Al Lawrence in the first game, race to 6. So the loser of this match will get 4th place. The winner will go on to play the winner or the loser of the match that we're watching on table 28 here between Chris and Walter Glass. That's Chris right there racking. And Walter is getting ready to break. It's 2-1. Walter was breaking trails by 1 game.
Actually, Walter won that.
What?
Walter won that first one.
Oh, Walter won that
Yeah,
first
Walter's
one?
up 1-0.
Oh, shoot. All right, thank you.
Did you figure out what the final race?
It's true double elimination.
Okay, so still the 6.
Yeah, I think there'll be 2 races to 6, possibly.
And it looks like Greg Harada just defeats Al Lawrence the first game in the set. So Greg Harada up 1-0 against Al Lawrence from Southwest Q's.
The payouts for this event, first place will receive $777. Good number for Las Vegas.
True.
Second place will be $500. Third will be $333. Fourth will be $232. Fifth and sixth, $125. Seventh and eighth, $100.
Is that you? You don't stream APA, do you?
Jeff, if you don't mind, I want to give the mic over to a new friend that I met when I was at the Andy Mercer tournament, Joe Canella. Thanks for coming and sitting in the box.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me come out and do this tournament, promote the pool a little bit out here.
Yeah, it's turned out real well. Everybody's received it well for a first-time event. We filled it up, and hopefully it'll grow from here. And in the future, we'll have a Calcutta. Everybody's excited about the streaming part. They're all happy to be on these tables, be able to get seen a little bit. Some of them have talked to their friends in town and across the country to have them watch their match. I actually got a text during one of my matches from a friend of mine from Colorado.
Oh yeah, really? That's great. Yeah. I remember, Ray Galvez was calling a bunch of his friends in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he was all excited about it.
Gotta watch it. So
everybody was going to be watching him. Had his friends from all over watching. It's a great idea, great setup.
a lot of these players deserve to be streamed too because they're good players, like Walter Glass, BCA Hall of Famer.
Walter's an absolute champion in his own right. He comes and goes, has his up and down time periods, but he's a great player.
Took a couple of years off. He's back playing again.
Yeah, he had a foot injury. He was laid up for a while, but he's playing great now.
While I have you here, I just want to remind viewers, why we're here. This is actually the Pots and Pans Open. Now, why don't you explain that a little, Joe, for those who don't know?
Well, we did, some friends of Bernard's decided they wanted to have a memorial tournament for Bernard Rogoff, who is also known as Pots and Pans, and the governor. He's a pool legend, one of a kind, old school hustler side of the pool world, and been around the game forever and ever, and just he's a character. He dressed up as Charlie Chaplin at a lot of tournaments, got paid to appear at some of them.
He did it for charity.
Yes, did it for charity. He was, he had his highs and lows also. His story, but some phenomenal stories about him on the road and just local things in town. He had so many nicknames for himself and everybody else. One of my cuter, cleaner Bernard stories was I come home from work one time and my daughter is about 8-9 years old and she's all excited. She's like, Dad, you got a message from the governor on the answer machine. And I had to explain to her that it wasn't the governor that she had in mind. It wasn't
Nevada.
the governor of Nevada. No, it wasn't the governor she was thinking of. I had to do I had to explain to her that it was a nickname for a friend. But Bernard was legendary. Some of his road stories were amazing. I walked into Al Lawrence with a little jump shot there and rolled the ball in. I walked into a pool room here in town about 20 some odd years ago in the middle of the week, in the middle of the afternoon, and Bernard was the only one in the place, and he's on a bar stool with a beer in each hand and practicing his drunk act. He started to fall off a stool, and I went to grab him, and he goes, "Easy, he goes, "I'm just getting ready to go on the road." That was how he practiced to go on the road.
Oh my gosh, he sounds like a real piece of work,
He was absolutely unique and one of a kind. Some of his hustle
You should
stories
get
were
also
amazing.
Thumbs to come over here. Because apparently Thumbs has a couple stories
Oh, I'm
too.
sure he does.
Said
I'm
he'd
sure he
like
does.
to share.
There's a lot of Bernard stories. I'll get Thumbs over here in a minute.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Bernard stories is He back in the days, he was in a neighborhood somewhere downtown playing, and I started to get the feeling he wasn't going to get out of there with the money without getting hurt possibly. And he paid a friend of his that was in there, a buddy of his, $20 to go have the beat cop come and have him arrested so he could get out with the money. He got himself arrested so he could get out with the dough.
Oh my gosh.
So he was a classic, and we're excited to have this here. We had a full field, had a real nice turnout. Everybody, it's been well received. Everybody wants to have them. They want to know if we want to start running one every month, which that would I think that's a little much, but we'll
maybe
we'll definitely turn this into an annual thing. We might start something running
late
something
in the
quarterly,
summer,
something.
or maybe something in the beginning of fall.
We have another good friend of ours, Jerry Franklin, founder of Southwest Q's, who passed away several years ago. We're going to be having a memorial tournament for him later in the year for sure. And
well, that's good.
Just trying to keep it going here in Vegas. We have the bonus ball working now. That seems to be going off okay. And
yeah, a lot of players keep coming through and getting into a little action here. We got the pit. It's a great competition pool table.
Yeah, it's a venue. It's
9-footer.
very visible. A lot of people can sit around and watch it. And
Walter now is ahead. I believe 3-1 against Chris Stansfield.
These short races to 6, everybody's alive. One little roll, one little mistake turns the sets around so fast that you're always live in these.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Is it 2-2? It could be. Yeah, it's 2-2. My apologies,
Oh,
folks.
2-2.
Yeah, Jeff Gray told me he won the. Okay. So it's 2-2. Sorry about that, Joe. So wait, how old was Potts when he died? Was he 86 or 87? And it was just a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, he died recently. This got thrown together kind of quick. He died recently. He'd been ill for a while, and then he and wound up in hospice. But he passed away. It's been fairly recent, no longer than a couple months ago.
Sanguinating in the chat room, saying hello to you with a couple of hearts.
All right. Well, hello back to you. Good to hear from you. The cannoli reference.
Yeah, you're from back east, aren't you? You're from New York?
Chicago area,
Chicago.
right outside Chicago. Yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
Which was a pool hotbed back in the day when I was growing up.
No kidding.
My uncle was a
Mike
professional
Siegel?
player. No, it was that area. We had Dallas West was a 2-time U.S. Open champion. My uncle Charlie Ketchapaya was a pro player. Finished in the top 12 in 4 U.S. Open straight pool tournaments back in the 70s.
Okay.
And their teacher was a fellow by the name of Joe Deal, who the old school straight pool players will all know who that is. And there was some Vern Peterson who relocated to California from that area. There's a lot of that's just Rockford itself, which is a small town. You want to start adding in Milwaukee, Madison, Chicago area. There's a ton of great players back in that era, back in that day.
He's trying to move the magic rack using his hand as a ball marker. So I guess if Walter's letting it happen, then it's okay, right?
Yeah, I would guess so. So yeah, very representative Final Four here. Some really good players, and a couple just good ones just got knocked out too. Mike Davis.
Yeah, Mike Davis. Greg Harada is the only guy that beat him. He beat him twice.
Yeah, well, unbelievable.
Beat him
Yeah,
twice.
that's quite an accomplishment. Mike's a very good player, ex-U.S. Open winner himself.
Yeah. I wouldn't be half surprised if he says, "Hey, Greg, you want to sub on our team in bonus ball?"
Yeah, no kidding. Greg's a good player. Greg finishes high. I haven't seen too many tournaments.
He's been a real good player for a while. I've known him for about 5 years, and he's always been very strong.
Yep, he's tough action. There's no doubt about that. He's a good player.
Hey, Joe, from Adam and Eric Pfeiffer in Kansas.
All right, Kansas guys, how you guys doing? Good to hear from you. Long time no see. When you guys got to get back out to Vegas?
I was thinking about going to Kansas to Olaf maybe for the tournament on the 8th of August.
Is that a 9-ball tournament?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm supposed to make the call in a couple of days. So we'll see what happens.
Going
there.
back to Bernard, so one of the things I heard that was pretty funny too about Bernard, I know some people that know him, they said, I don't know if Bernard ever knew my name. All he ever called me was Egg. That was one of his things. He had names for everybody. His names he would call you Egg or Sire, or he was the all-time character, legendary. tried to get him to. He did tape some of his stuff actually. Yes, there's some tapes out there. I'd love to get a hold of them and make a copy for people to hear his stories.
I heard he was selling a couple of CDs of his stuff, and I couldn't get a hold of any of them. But also there was a few clips that I got recently from John Bertone, who had a camera in Reno, and I was able to get some clips of Bernard when he was in Reno 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I was actually at that tournament when he was up there a couple of years ago.
But his CD now that's more produced work of his.
It's
Something
a
like
personal.
that.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more. There was a bunch of stories. He actually started putting some of his stories on tape, so they would. I tried to tell him there should have been a movie or a book.
So Adam and Eric Pfeiffer are saying they'll be in the BCA next.
Oh, awesome! I'll see you guys then.
Yeah, and then they'll be coming by here. So
Maybe we'll have maybe we'll have a beer or something. Something.
So Chris over here trying to decide what to do. The 2 balls hooked on the 9 ball, and it doesn't look like he can kick it in because it's
These
too
two
close to
guys
the
don't
rail.
give up. These two guys don't give up too much air. Either one of them. They're not going to make too many bad decisions. They may have a ball. They might not play perfect position here or there, but they're not going to make too many mental mistakes. They're both really, really great players.
Oh no, I've been watching both of them. Greg Harada. Playing Al Lawrence right now. I think Al's up 2-0. I'm not 100% sure. This would be a tough shot. Tough shot. Is he going to shoot it? Yeah, it does look like a Massey. No. He got so close to making that.
Good
though.
effort. Just feathered that 4 ball.
Greg Harada up 2-0 already against Al Lawrence, and this match only started 10 minutes ago. But Al Lawrence at the table right now, shooting looks like he might be able to close this rack out on the 5. What do you think Walter's going to do with this 5-6 here? I don't know if the 5 goes in the side.
It's tight, that's for sure. I'm going to be looking at it that there must be like one window he can hit to get on it to be able to get a shot at the 6. As usual, my friend's looking for me to buy the first round. That's not a problem. We can accomplish that. 5 ball must go for Walter to make that play. 6 to the 7 is the key.
So was Rogoff still around here quite a lot, even in his last years?
Oh yeah,
like a few days a week, or
he'd different bars. He was all over the place. He didn't really have a place. He would just show up.
Yeah.
He's liable to show up anywhere on any given night. And the Pots and Pans nickname went from him passing himself off as a Pots and Pans salesman when he was out on the road hustling. We actually
I heard about that.
We actually have that's part of the prize. The champion's going to get a set of pots and pans here.
Yeah. Oh, that's what
That's
you're
part
doing.
of our prize money here. That's the part they haven't heard that. We didn't
What
tell them
brand?
that, but very cheap.
as pots and pans would have.
Oh, absolutely. And we had a power fail. We had a
We had a power.
power
His ghost was
failure
here
today. Yeah, absolutely. He showed up today.
Did you just
we
see
had a
that
power
shot?
failure for an hour and 45. What a great shot that
Just
is.
drilled it
He
in.
gets to give himself the angle to get to the 7 ball.
He was worried about it for a while. Al's trailing now behind Greg 2-1. He won the last game. Al dries breaks dry and leaves Greg hooked on the 1. And look at Walter. Look at him. Gosh. Hey, how's your game? What's your, like, you had any big victories in your life?
Since I've moved to Vegas, my biggest accomplishment is probably finishing 3rd in the Andy Mercer 1 year and 4th 1 year. Yeah, I had a 3rd and a 4th, 2 different years in there.
You played every Andy Mercer, didn't you?
Everyone but this year.
This year.
Yes, this year my son got married and I was in Argentina during the Mercer this year.
That's right,
Had
your
quite
son
a,
got
quite a
married.
great time over
Congratulations
there.
again.
Thank you.
Are you
Glass
do
just
they have
broken.
kids yet? Are you going to be a grandfather? Or?
I'm hoping soon while I'm young enough to enjoy them. Yeah, nice out by Walter. They're classic out.
Wow.
Classic out.
He's really, really
He's dialed in, no doubt about it. They both
got a
play
loud
good. They're
bark,
both
man.
playing great.
Yeah.
So my game up and down that one, and I finished 4th in the seniors BCA event a few years back. Those are my Vegas probably highlights.
Wait, did you just say seniors? You don't look like you're over 54, 53.
Yeah, well preserved. Well preserved. I just turned 59 a few days
Kidding
ago.
me? Wow. I wouldn't have guessed. Did you just have a birthday?
Thursday, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I think I
23rd.
saw you on Facebook with the birthday. And
Walter with the brake here. He's
yeah,
not
and-
one of the ones using the cut brake. Some are using the cut brake and some are braking head on. He's been banging them. So I'm going to sign out. I'll see if I can get Thumbs over here for you.
Yeah,
See
that'd
if
be
he
nice.
wants to share
Joe,
any
thanks
stories.
a lot.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming
Appreciate
in.
it. Thank you for having
Thanks
the
for
time.
checking
We're very
in,
excited
and thanks for
about,
allowing us here
doing this.
at
No
Pool
problem.
Shark.
We're excited about it. It's a nice feature.
And you know, once
Hope to
again,
have
come
you
on
here
down.
for some more events. Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Take care.
All right. Yep, that's right, folks. When the BCA's around, it's also right around the corner from the Rio. So if you're going to be at the Rio for the BCA,
Somebody else?
if you're going to be at the Rio for the BCA, it's just around the corner. So come on down to Pool Sharks, or anytime you're in Vegas. There's tournaments here Mondays and Wednesdays, and now there's a B tournament here on Sundays.
Yeah, it's actually
been
getting
going
ready
on
to
a while?
start. Yeah, it's been going on for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Just getting ready to start here at 6 o'clock over on the side tables, 9-footers.
Anyway,
I was watching Bobby Emmons play. He's actually got some action on one pocket against a gentleman named Roman. Don't know the background on him, but they got a little bit of one pocket
all I
match
know,
on.
I talked to Poker Paul a minute ago. He said that he's from Dallas. That's all I know.
Okay.
Al Lawrence ahead against Greg Harada. Oh no, I'm sorry, behind against Greg Harada 2-1, but looking like he's very well poised to close out another rack. Shooting the 7 right now. Possibly
It's here.
to make the score 2-2. And Walter might get away with this.
That actually turned out pretty well. Left him fairly tough on that one ball.
by Al Lawrence on the 8 ball, and he looks like he's going to have to play another bank on the 9. Let's see if he makes it.
And is that to go up? I see the score is 2-1 on that. Is Al actually up a match? Al's down?
No, he's down 2-1, and he needs to tie this game up, this match up here. But the only thing he's got is a bank. Which way is he going? Is he playing safe?
Wow, great shot
Plays
by
it,
Al Lawrence.
makes it, and Al Lawrence ties it up. It's now 2-2. We're going to go right back to Walter Glass, who is looking at his options here. He's got a chance. I think he can push that 3 ball into the side pocket.
Well, I think the 1 will go. It's just a matter of where he leaves himself on that 2. It looks like he might be drawing it back to give himself a shot on that 2, come out for the 3 on the side.
Or a safety. Let's see. No, it goes.
Got a little bit of a bonus there, pocketed the 5 as well, but I think he should be able to make this 2 ball, bring that cue back off the rail. Should be fairly okay here.
I like about his game is he's turned out to be a real shot maker.
Yeah.
Like he's well aware that sometimes he needs to accept bad position. Do you know what I mean?
And I'll tell you, Walter's a little bit off his game right now. I've seen him play before he actually went in for surgery, and the guy is just a phenomenal shot. And great at leaving himself well. I mean, he could definitely run out racks, but he does a little bit of a struggle now. He's been out of practice. He took almost 2 years off playing consistently, so nice to see him just starting to get back in stroke. Ooh, and I guess I said that at the wrong time. That was a little bit out of character for Walter, missing that shot.
Well, he left himself tough. That was a tough shot. So Chris Stansfield comes back, tree-topped over the 6 ball. Doesn't look that difficult, but he's got to be careful. It goes. And Chris looks very well poised to run this out. So I'm going to quickly skim over to Al Lawrence, who looks like he's getting ready to play a jump shot on the 1 ball. I'll let you know if Chris makes any mistakes, and we can't see the jump because he's blocking it. So we're going to go back to Chris. He made that jump
Al
shot.
does make
we
that
just couldn't
1
see
ball.
it. I'm sorry, folks. We need
Leaves himself
another
straight
angle.
in on that too.
So we're back to Chris, who's taking his time. Trying not to take too much for granted here. Scores 3-2. Walter Glass leads. Chris rolling his eyeballs and showing some emotion. He really didn't want to end up with his cue ball on the rail like this. Good shot.
Well, and he takes it down. It should does that even it up there at 3-3?
Yep, 3-3. Wow, we have a match, guys. Very quickly going back to Al. Al Lawrence looking like he's going to run this out. Score is 2-2 between Al Lawrence and Greg Harada.
Yeah, Al should have a relatively easy run out here. Bring that cue ball right off the bottom rail. 7 on the side, 8 in the corner, and somebody Al's caliber, this should be a pretty easy out.
Okay, Chris is about to break now. And Al Lawrence getting on the rail on that 9-ball. That's no good. His cue ball's on the rail.
This is a key rack for Chris. He needs to control this break. Kind of stop that cue and get control in this match. So Al Lawrence does pocket that 9-ball, takes control of the match, goes up 3-2 against Greg Harada.
I've already eaten. No. Did you want some?
You know, from where Walter lays here, the only thing that may be giving him difficulty is at 5-6. We'll see how he ends up here after pocketing that 3-ball. So Al Lawrence pockets an early 9-ball, taking command of the match to 4-2 against Greg Harada. Greg's break. And we are down to the final 4 players in the Pots and Pans 2013 Open. So Walter bringing that back as I suspected. We're going to see what he does off this 4-ball here. He might slow roll that cue ball forward, try and get safe on that 5. Might opt for a bank. A little bit difficult to see from the commentator's booth. Looks like that's probably about his only 2 options. Oh, what a great shot by Walter. Actually brings that cue ball off the head rail, comes back, opens up a spot there for that 5. That was a great shot. And I believe that's 6. He'll just kind of stun the cue ball, bring that 6 all the way back down to the bottom left table or bottom left corner. See him sitting over there. I see him playing though. He's waiting for you. Maybe you should go piss him off and play him again.
Walter right now appears to be slightly unstoppable. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was a great shot. That was a key shot on that 4-ball. Coming back out, opening up a position for that 5. So he should be, the way Walter's shooting, he should be out here to take command of this match. Comes out, gets good shape on that 8 ball. Probably would have been happier a few more inches up. He could have just stopped it, brought it back, played the 9 in the same corner. So we're going to see it does. Looks like he might draw off that side rail, bring it back down, and still play the 9 in that same pocket.
You guys going to dealers? What are you going to do? We're going to stay here and play Jeff Gray? Or you're going to go to dealers?
Probably go to dealers and play.
Go to dealers.
Have Matt open up the table. Because here they won't open it up. You got a shitload of people. Matt will open the table.
Wow, what a
Wow.
performance, man, by Walter Glass.
Walter
right now.
is on fire.
He appears to be on fire.
You know, this will be a.
Chris has to get the fire hose.
This will be interesting because this will actually be interesting because if Walter wins this match, he's in the hot seat. If Chris loses and Al Lawrence wins, it's going to kind of be a rematch between Chris and Al. You know, Chris defeated Al, put Al in the loser's bracket, but Al has actually caught a gear. So it'll be interesting if Al can keep playing the way he has. You know, I'm sure it'll be a much better match against Chris.
Four games to 3 between Chris and Walter Glass.
And it looks like Al might be calling.
Apologize. The score is incorrect.
Yeah, it looks like Al might be calling the referee over to watch his shot.
I transposed the numbers accidentally. Sorry. This is the correct score. Okay, the magic rack on the other table is putting pressure on. Well, it's right underneath a ball, so.
Walter with an unlucky roll-off. Strong break. 7 ball comes in between the Q and the 1. Looks like it might make for a tough shot here.
Great bank by Al. Al has been kicking and banking in this match. I really wish I could give you guys a view of some of these shots that he's playing right now, but this is the hot seat match we're watching between. Oh no, not the hot seat. Yeah, the hot seat match between Chris Stansfield and Walter Glass.
No, it's just I was looking at the score sheet here to see where we're at. It looks like Al should be able to take this rack down the way he's been shooting. Oh, he powers that, but he gets a lucky roll. Gets a lucky roll, pockets a 7 in the opposite corner.
Is devastated right now.
Shocking it. Just a little bit of a shock. Greg shaking his head, but wow.
He got lucky. This is the third time he's gotten lucky in this game.
In this rack, yeah.
Meanwhile, over here, a bad break. Well, a good break, but just a bad kick on the cue leaves Walter hooked. And he's looking for an escape here or a push. He's trying to figure it out.
So Walter looks like he's going to pull something out here and give ball in hand to Chris.
No, it's a push, I think.
Oh, is he? Okay. I apologize. He just push and leaves Chris full table on the 1.
And Chris is going to walk away from the table briefly. So why don't we switch over to... Oh, he walked away just to get a glass of water. So.
That's all right. Let's see what Al is able to pocket this 9 here to take him on the hill if he can make this shot.
It does go.
And it looks like Al Lawrence goes on the hill against Greg Harada 5-2.
Yeah, which means that, the loser of this match between Greg and Al will
finish in fourth place. And if Al, in fact, does win this, looks like he'll be playing the loser of the match that we're watching, and if that happens to be Chris Stansfield, that'll be a good rematch. A little bit of a grudge match for Al Lawrence.
Yeah, Greg must, have come into this match feeling a little pumped against Al, because he beat Mike Davis twice in this event. But, anything happens. And Al has been a good player. He got lucky in that last rack, though, a couple times.
Yeah, he did, but you know what? The rolls go with you, the rolls go against you. It's all the momentum of the game. So,
It's true. It's true.
just as he got lucky, he's been unlucky on probably an equal amount of shots.
And speaking of unlucky, Chris Stanfield gets unlucky. He decides to take on Walter's push and leaves Walter like what looks to be a 1-2 combo. Perfect shot, perfect speed.
You know who that guy Roman is? No. Bobby Evans?
Never seen him before the other night.
Looks like he got a little bit short on that. He should be able to make that 4 from our view. Make that 4, come around 2 rails, possibly 5 on the side, 6 in the corner. Looks like he touched that 6 ball. Chris Stanfield putting it back where it was. So Walter pocketing the 4 ball. Looks like possibly the 5 in the side.
Then I went for 3 and I couldn't see.
Looks like he might be contemplating the 5 in the side, going off the top rail, coming back for the 6, or possibly taking the 5. Possibly taking the 5 all the way up, and a little bit of draw coming off that side rail. Either way, he should be fine. He's got plenty of room on this. Is that just the direct? Looks like he opted for the side pocket coming off that top.